na TikTok unaweza change location every 3 months.
Yes, inaitwa changing the region. That is what I've been trying with account yangu, lakini haiko.
So unaweza keep account yako na uende nini ingine na utumie the same account.
Let me tell you,
haita work just in the US.
Wacha ni respond kitu hapa, because I guess maybe you are trying to misunderstand me. If I have this account here, this Diana Ross account here in America, I opened it here in America. If TikTok bans TikTok in America, I cannot go with this account to log in Kenya. I can't. Siwezi.
Hello guys, it's your girl Patience Status. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscription box and put on the notification bell so that you don't forget any time I post a new video. Remember, I'm the queen of online gossip. So welcome to today's video. Don't forget to give it a like and leave a comment on the comment section.
Mwoni Merilinda. Tunamuona.
Wapi Merilinda? Wa? Kadoshle. We? Kwani hiyo mdomo umeishona? Merilinda wana mdomo extra large. We? Na hiyo ndio your favorite gift.
So continue.
I
honestly, guys, I don't know. Now he's sending the son away, and he wanted to introduce his son to the one I was telling him. Hello, bring your dry farms. I'll put us down, please. A woman, no chef, no bam. You can't make me to feel honey. Come here, Nyako. Hello, please remove that. Nyako. No. I wasn't, please remove that. Nyako, come. Let those motherfucker tap. They are power tappers. Terminator. Hello. Nyako. Kumanyoko, your landlord Kumanyoko. Everyone Kumanyoko. Please get Nyako. Chinyako iwe. Nyoko. Please bring yourself here. Nyako, I'll get a blanket. I'll do the same. Follow the game. You talk too much. You think you're the only one who knows how to talk. Swine. I'll go down you. You are scared. Bring your people now. You talk too much. Are you the only one who has been in German there? And even the guy looks like maybe someone who has got kwashiorkor, or maybe someone's got sickle cell. The guy itself, they are too dry. They don't even look like you're a woman. Even those bodies, they look fresh than me. Look at your dry body here. Even the shape itself. Are you not imbalanced, grandma? Go to the farm where you went to.
Imejirudia.
Let's go, guys. So, Zumba, you have said so many bad things about me, and it is not nice. It is just a game. So, when you told me rubbish, it was nice. Have you seen my mind book? When you told me rubbish, do you know what I was going through? You can't tell me my mind would look like
Umesikia? I don't know. Nani TikTok depression na huku download huku ni record hiyo kuna moja. It was worse.
Ilikuwa worse.
Yeah.
Nyingi sana alimwambia mpaka nani watoto wakaingililia wewe.
Ingililia, right.
Watoto waliingililia. Msichana akasema sijui I respect wanawake. Sijui mvulana akasema nini. Ilikuwa mbaya, like it was bad. So nini tulikuwa tunaongea ndio tufikie hapa? Si unajua nani Ralph Faki, wewe na Diana mwezi kaa kwa meza moja, si you know that. Unless unini na usiongee anything related with nani Diana. Sema mic iko kwako.
Mic kwa nani?
Kwako wewe.
Ngeni zimenyamaza, umeniambia sisi hatuwezi kaa table moja na si nani.
Yani usijaribu kumuingililia, that is what I'm talking about. Usijaribu kuleta fujo juu tumechill. Umerequest so ongea.
Nataka kusikiza nikiwa hapa juu nisikize hizo recordings pia mimi.
Watu wa Yesu wako kazini, wewe umelewa.
Tuko Sunday, kwani unafanya kazi Sunday, kwani ni mjinga? Haya. Hii worshiping worship watu miss worship. Tuende nalo.
Sasa uchukue mic kama ushuke tupumzike chini.
Tutakupandisha huyu mtu hapa.
Mimi nimefikiria ni kitu anataka kuongea, ni mlevi ameleta fujo. Onesmus, kunywa maziwa. Huyu atapata, unajua huyu alikuja hapa Facebook akaisha kabisa huyu Onesmus. Onesmus doesn't make sense here. Sai US ikifungwa anaenda kupata ile nguvu yake ya nini? Huyu hatashikika sasa. Juu Facebook wanatambulika huku. Facebook sasa I'm sure hata ako happy that Facebook TikTok imebaniwa.
I really don't think so. Let me tell you something about Facebook now. Even us going back to Facebook is gonna be difficult for us.
Really?
Umesikia? Yeah, that is how social media works. Unajua social media ina require consistency. Umesikia? Kama vile hatujakuwa huko, hata algorithms zenyewe za Facebook haiendi kutu expose. That is how it's very different. Sahi kuna other players on Facebook, my dear.
Hata tukuacha.
Sasa hata tukirudi huko bado ita nini sana. It's not gonna really give us that much limelight. We'll only have the same group of people that used to follow us, but things have changed on Facebook. Hata for us to go back to where we were on Facebook, ile yenye uko mpaka na watu wanakuwatch 6 to 10,000 people, no way. Yeah, it's gonna take time. Like we have to work again for us to gain that kind of thing.
Kupatia viewers wengi hivyo.
Oh yeah. Kwenda live Facebook. Kwenda live Facebook. When we used to go live on Facebook, we had several people watching. Unaona?
Hatukuacha hata magift zikipeanwa huko. So
sahi kuna sijui hizo reels, masijui nini, unaona? So sahi nafikiria live ya Facebook iko na pesa, siko sure.
Sana, tuliambiwa na Waiberero. Tuambia kuna siku alimake $8,000.
Ati on a live?
On a live, siku ya baada.
Alimake from gifts ama alimake from what?
From gifts juu ya nini? And alikuwa anajaribu ku-explain that hizo stars, alikuwa anajaribu ku-explain that huku 50% huenda kwa nini? Kwa mwenye TikTok. Huko sijui unapata sijui ni percentage gani iko better than imagine alituambia she made $8,000 siku ya birthday yake.
Mimi I just feel bad. Sasa TikTok inatuondoa kama sahii nimeshaanza kupata pesa kwa malive. That's just sad.
Aki, ulituambia kuingia live unalipwa.
Oh yeah.
Unajua nilikuwa nashindwa mbona siwezi join hiyo hapa Germany cause ni more than 10, kumba account ni ya Kenya. Hii account
hata kukaa hapa kwa hii live yako nikitoka natoka na at least $19.
Imagine.
I think watu warudi tu Facebook, I think, but I just sahi naye hakuna maisha. We have to really go back and start again afresh, unaona?
Tutaanza kuwafuata sasa, ni nini tutafanya? We will
umesema no choice.
Tutawafuata. Cause mi siezagi watch nani Cindy. Simpatagi akiwafani ati analia hizo drama zao za mboka nini. Hi Simba, it's very hard. Si kina Kawera
Hata VPN hatutaweza guys. Wenye naongelea VPN haitawezekana hapa US. It's not gonna work.
ya Twitter. Wewe unaona wa Kenya venye wako toxic ni watu wa kunini kupenda nini? Kuko attracted na nini hivi. Twitter itakuwa ngumu pia kwa watu kwenda malive huko.
Tumekuwa forced into retirement guys. We have been forced to retire.
Sako it can't work at your account ya Kenya. It can't work still. Na kuna nini, kuna fine zitakuwa nini juu sana nimesikia.
For the companies that will try to host TikTok.
Mimi nawaambia Kenya TikTok ikifungwa.
Na I think itakuwa mzuri, kina Cindy watafungua vibanda za kukata mboga waanze ku-earn money.
Watu wataingia kwa depression. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, but watu waanze tu kufanya kazi because hapa TikTok kuna watu wengi.
Na venye huwa anategea watu wa US wakiamka wanajua mpaka time na muda.
Saa hii hakuna my friend. Hata watu wa US wenyewe saa hii wako rada. Hata gifting imepungua muonangi. Yeah, hapa hivi sasa tuko rada. Kama huku nyakua mwanaume kwa hii TikTok mwenye unakula pesa yake wa US, pole sana. Sahi it's a bit difficult. What is coming ahead for people who depend on USA na watu wa US? Poleni sana.
Nimesikia kuna watu wanauza ma-account. Diana naye pia auza account. Mwanze kuuza ma-account mkienda.
Mtu akikuuzia account anakudanganya. It's not going to work.
No, kama isi mtu unakulia for fun, inaweza fanya kazi juu hakuna pesa yenye unaenda kuchukua.
Haiwezi kuwork kwa sababu location ya account, the original location is the issue.
You cannot change the location.
You can't. You can't, my friend. You can't.
No, JB fungue account mpya basi.
I have, lakini haijafikisha 10,000 nini.
Ukujenge nayo live. Ukikuja live unakuwa na simu mbili alafu unaiweka hapa, tunaifuata hapa. Inakaa ngoja. Yeah.
Iko na around 4,000 people. Ile niliingia nayo wakati iliangushwa juzi.
But US walikuwa nanunua accounts za Kenyans. US pia walikuwa nanunua account from Kenya.
Wakenya ndio wananuanga sa US
No, US walikuwa nanunua accounts za watu wa Kenya.
Ni aje Diana, mimi nilikuwa nafikiria sioni kama ati account yako itakataa kufanya kazi just because uko US, because ni US inakataa tuingie TikTok, sio TikTok inakataa to log in. So I think utakeep account yako as long as unaweza enda ulog in labda Kenya. But I don't think ban your location because our ban your account, they are banning the app kwa country nye uko. So unaweza enda Kenya na login kwa account yako na TikTok ikuruhusu.
No, please let me make that correction. My friend, when you download TikTok app, you are downloading it from a host app or a host website in the United States. Those companies are no longer going to be allowed to host or to hold the app. That is how it's going to work. It's not about, so you cannot go to another country. If you go to another country,
find your old account.
Okay, so wache niseme, you cannot find your old account. That's a lie. You can only download afresh in a new country with another a host website that allow TikTok kwa country yao. You can't go with your same TikTok account from the US at unaenda kulog in Kenya. It cannot work like that. You can go to another country and you download a new app because that country allows TikTok. That is how it works. Unasikia? So but so what's gonna happen to our accounts
ni contract yako na US, not you.
Okay, hey gosh. Siwache tu nimalize ku-explain gosh. The thing that is happening, and you guys can go and read this because hizi vitu zote ziko hapo tu online. Enda msome, because for us to download TikTok, especially on iPhone, on iOS, it's because sisi tuko hapa tunaweza kudownload because it will be available on Apple whatever iOS here. Now the host companies and the websites that create those apps here in the US are the ones that are not going to be allowed. And you cannot say ati unatumia the same app uli download hapa kama hii account yangu. Wacha ni mute Greg kwa sababu huwezi ukapanda hapa juu useme anything. You're just opening your mouth there and you don't have no details.
Able to like question you.
Okay.
No, can I finish? Argument. Na wewe hujaacha.
Wacha nimalize kwanza.
Yangu. Wewe ndio unasema
mimi. Okay, basi endelea kuongea Magda.
No, maliza point yako, ni venye unafanya ni kama mimi ndo nimeleta hiyo point alafu wewe ume overpower point yangu, but go on.
Okay, explain venye ulikuwa nini, umalize pia yeye alete hiyo argument. Ama Magda, msimute nyinyi wote.
Understand venye yeye anasema, but mi kukwambia ukweli, cheki kama kuna state huku US inaitwa Montana hakuna TikTok. So TikTok iko restricted just in Montana. Ukienda in another state unaweza kubaliwa. No, Montana TikTok is banned. Unaona? Na ukitoka Montana move to another state unaweza get TikTok because iko restricted to hiyo area peke yake. Account yako haiwork. Na TikTok unaweza change location every 3 months.
Yes, inaitwa changing the region. That is what I've been trying with the account yangu lakini haiko.
So unaweza keep account yako na uende nini nyingine na utumie the same account.
Let me tell you.
Haita work just
wacha ni respond kitu hapa because I guess maybe you are trying to misunderstand me. If I have this account here, this Diana Ross account here in America, I opened it here in America. If TikTok bans TikTok in America, I cannot go with this account to log in Kenya. I can't. Siwezi. What will happen? Yes, unaona TikTok ikiwa banned, if the ban goes through, if it takes effect on the 19th vile wamesema, hii account yangu na updates na kila kitu inaenda kudisappear. It might not go immediately, but it will disappear. I'll not be able to update it. I'll not be able to do things like that because the location at that moment will be in the United States. Now, if I want to use TikTok in Kenya, because Kenya allows TikTok, I will have to download a TikTok app in Kenya. Sio hii ya US. That is how it works. Yeah. Ninaweza nikafungua account Kenya kwa sababu TikTok
you can log into your account.
It might be true because download na is it contacts or how do you call it?
Diana, ukifungua ukienda Kenya ufungue account.
Ngojeni Diana malize alafu muongea, pendi kukatisiwa kiongea.
Ukienda hiyo ni disagreement imefanya commute, si kukatisiwa.
Na details za America. Sasa details za huku ni ya huku, za huku ule ni kule. Me I understand what she's saying.
About region. It's just about regions. You cannot take an account that you created in America to go and open it in Kenya. It doesn't work that way.
Unajua hii account yangu imekataa kuchange kabisa kuja hapa Deutschland.
Exactly. So that's how it works. Unaona, you can't just wake up and change at your account at unaitoa at nini unless that region na hiyo region nyingine inakubali your app. Right now in America kama hii kitu itakuwa banned, hii account yangu hii siwezi enda Kenya nikaifungulia huko. It will not work because the location pali ilifunguliwa ilikuwa wapi na mahali ilikuwa ikiwa banned ilikuwa America. Now but if I go to Kenya, I can open a new TikTok account in Kenya. Tumeelewana? Na hata nikifungua hiyo account Kenya, ninaweza operate TikTok Kenya. But guess what? When I come to America with that account nilifungua Kenya, siwezi nika operate hiyo TikTok hapa.
You can't use it, yeah.
I can't use it here. So that's the thing.
Sure.
And that is why the main reason mukiangalia hiyo ruling, the reason they based on the ruling ni ya kwamba they are going to be levying hefty fines on the companies because hizi apps zote zinatengenezwa na companies na ma websites zinakuwa hosted. The owners of websites ni ma companies. So the appeals court upheld what was decided by Congress based on the fact that if anybody violates that, haitakuwa eti ni ma individuals pekee wanaikujiwa, ni hizo ma companies na ma servers zao wenye wameallow TikTok ifanye nini? Ioperate. That's it.
Adi, don't forget it needs your number or your email address. You know that?
It depends, JB, if umefungwa na phone number ama umefungwa na email. It's different. Unaweza move account yako from one region to another region. Unaona? Because ni app ya TikTok. Restriction itakuja na ile location umeweka for 3 months ndio
unaweza move ama ukifungwa na email.
Not the number that you are in your own country. Ukitumia Kenya, mimi natumia iwe itachukua, itakwambia the number is in use. Haiwezi tumia. Then you have to change the number.
Is invalid.
No, yeah. Ina need penye uta get like code yako ya kuingia kwa nini yako. Ni kama saa hii ukienda kutoka Kenya uhame hapa na email yako inakuambianga IP imechange, inaweza kata uingie mpaka uverify for 3 days. Ukienda another country unaweza log in na hiyo, cause TikTok haija ban wewe. US ndio imeban TikTok, sio TikTok imekuban. Unaweza enda country nyingine na TikTok itakuacha ulogin na account yako.
It's not true.
Because itakuacha ulogin because TikTok has no problem with you being on TikTok. That is not true. US has the problem with you being on TikTok.
That is not true. Let me tell you. We are just talking. Let me tell you. The ban on TikTok is locational based. It's not individual based. The ban on TikTok, the major reason why it is banned, it is location. So
exactly.
Sasa wacha
nimalize Diana. Nimekuacha uonge for a while. That's what I'm saying, Diana. It is location based. If you're in the US, you cannot log on your TikTok. If you go outside of the US, you can log on your TikTok because it is just location. That's all I'm saying. Chukua mic.
If you are in the US, you cannot log on TikTok with your US account. If you are outside of the US, you cannot log on TikTok with your US account. You can only download a new TikTok kama uko outside of the US. Account yako ya US cannot work.
You can get a different phone. You can get a different phone, download TikTok on a different phone, and log onto your old account on a new phone.
That's a lie. You cannot log onto your old account because your old account, it was created using the IP address na logins the United States. You can't. You will only open a new account because it's based on location. You cannot. Your old account, the location ya kwanza ilikuwa wapi? America. If you roam with it, it does not change from being an American account. It doesn't. And that is why data protection is the issue behind the ban. Your data does not change because you've gone to Kenya. It maintains. But if you decide to download the app in Kenya, a fresh app on a phone, because Kenya allows TikTok, you can open a TikTok account in Kenya. But you cannot use Diana Ross hii account yenye kwa hapa ati niende niitumie Kenya while it was banned in the US. Never. It can't happen.
But kuna hiyo option ya kuchange region, ndio mimi yangu account yangu imekata kutoka Kenya juu hakuna Deutschland kwa chat.
No, you really can't wake up. Ndio kitu ndio maana wanasema you can't wake up to say you are changing your region. You can't. Hiyo VPN haiwezi work na hii ban. Unaona? It can't. But you can move to Kenya if you want. Na kama Kenya inakubali TikTok, uta-download app ya TikTok afresh, uweke login mpya na utengeneze mpya, but huwezi tumia details zako za US ku login.
Hata tunikwambia ukweli.
Nani JB, mimi na believe so much in bringing information. Wacha tuchezeshe what was ruled and what is there on the TikTok ban, because information is power. Knowledge is power.
Kidogo kuna mtu ameniambia kitu hapa. Manzi huyu fish ameniambia you must make sure you don't have coins. Hata niliona hiyo kitu kwa Google but I didn't understand what like I don't have coins like nitoe kila coins zote and then nianze. Ebu tell me about it. Hii story ya coins nilisoma, hii account imeni stress. Juu haina Germany huku. Haina. I'm looking for your comment, please. Tell me about the coins part. Ndio nipate region ya Deutschland. Okay, endelea kuongea. Please nitaipie hapo Because Deutschland is not in the chart ya countries zote, lakini countries zote ziko. So nikitaka kuchange region Diana, naweza change hata kwenda US account yangu.
Now, let me tell you something. I like what Nani has written down here. You know, the ban on TikTok is about data and privacy protection, guys. I think that's where we need to begin. The main reason why the United States wanted TikTok out is because they felt that the data and the information of Americans can be taken away na kila kitu. Those were their reasons. And of course, there's a Data Protection Act in the US that protects the US from that information being out there on a company that is not owned by the United States. So the idea of an American going to open TikTok as an American in Kenya cannot work. If you're an American resident, and you decide to now open TikTok based on your data in another country, it will not work. Guys, it's about data protection and privacy. So even if you choose to use a phone, even if you choose to use email, and you are still making references in America, it's not gonna work. Now, if you choose to go to Kenya as a person in America, and you choose to go somehow, alafu ufungue account ingine Kenya, kwa sababu Kenya imeallow TikTok, hakuna ban, you can open that account, but you have to be very, very careful not to put the details that reflect on you having anything to do with an American, because it will not work. It's about data protection and privacy, because at the end of the day, hapa kwa TikTok, there are things that you will have to fill in those forms. Unaona, when it comes to taxes and everything, lazima utaweka details zako, lazima utaweka mali unaishi, ndio hiyo form ikue downloaded, unaelewa? So people talk about profitability. Yes, of course we know it's about profitability. Yes, but the major reason why this thing had to pass through Congress is because they talked about the data protection thing. The US thinks that the Chinese is harvesting data ya nini ya wa America. Na mi unajua kitu nasemanga hapa, let us just go directly to that appeal and the ruling. Okay, muisome na muisikie. I played this thing. There is a lady that is a lawyer in the US here mwenye ana explain hii ruling very very well.
Naomba question ya Msupa because it's very very relevant.
Nimaje?
Anasema Diana, here is my question. Then ukifungulia Kenya, ukirudi nayo America, do you think it will work?
It will not.
Kwa nini ni ya Kenya?
It cannot work, my dear. It will not work. TikTok kama sahi, let's say for example, in Montana hapa US, Montana and some particular states hawataki story ya TikTok. Hata kuna ma places za kazi, even some places in work hapa hivi zenye hawataki TikTok.
TikTok nayo Kenya.
Unasikia? Unaona?
Acha tu niseme kitu moja Diana. Inasema ukitokata na account Kenya, the update that you made the last time, ukikuja US bado ita work until ushindwe kuweza ku-update. Hata TikTok ikibaniwa sai, it will still work until the day utataka ku-update, ikatae ku-update na i-disrupt algorithm.
Say that the updates is going to disappear slowly by slowly. Isn't that what I'm saying, that slowly by slowly it's going to disappear?
Yeah, but that's what
hapa JB ya kwamba hata hii account itakuwa hapa, but slowly it's going to disappear because even the host companies itself, unasikia?
Inasema hapa, ati if you take nimesoma Google, inasema yes the account is going to work ukienda in another country na update TikTok yako ita work. Ina depend na App Store.
So I don't think that Supreme Court can delay
TikTok is going to be able to work.
Supreme Court can decide yawa. Queen Daisy, wacha kunichekesha, sitaki kucheka. And the thing is, unaona, that's the reason why mnasikia they are going to be imposing hefty bans. Umesikia? Mwende mkaangalie mwanamke mwenye anajiita, because I don't want to play that thing here. I always tell you people, information is power. There is a lady here on TikTok. She's been very anajiita the news girl. Go there. Kama mnataka kujielimisha juu ya hii TikTok ban, go there. She's called the news girl. She has explained this ban on TikTok very well in details and explained the law and how it works so that muelewe one by one. Wende musikize vile anasema, it is so clear. Unaona, that is so important for you, ndio muelewe hii kitu and why it is being banned in the US. Unaona, na ni haja gani America iban kitu alafu watu wengine wanaweza. Umemwona? Sasa mnafikiria America inaweza ikapitisha legislation kama hii ipitie Congress alafu tena ati ikue eti watu wengine wanaweza kuingia? My friend, it doesn't work that way. That is why there are gonna be hefty fines for companies that will allow that to happen in any way, because wana believe ya kwamba kuna watu watajaribu kufanya unscrupulous means wairudi kwa TikTok ikishakuwa banned. That is why there are hefty fines. That is why it was passed through Congress, because the basis of this thing was definitely data protection. Of course, we know there is profitability around it, but you can't just wake up and make legislation against someone making profit. That would be against unconstitutional, because people are allowed to do business. So they based their arguments on a constitutional thing, like freedom of speech, something. Ndio watu wa TikTok wanasema ati America is trying to curtail freedom of speech, but no, there is a Data Protection Act in America that is constitutional, and that is what the Congress based their arguments on, and they passed it into law and it was signed. So for it to be removed so that it no longer exists, my friend, it has to take legislation, and that legislation also will be challenging the Constitution based on data protection. So you guys go and follow that lady. She explains very well. Kwa wenye waelewi tena anaenda pole, like you just need to listen to what she's saying. Hakuna vile country inaweza ikaamua kuban an app alafu hati tena kuna means ya watu wengine kudownload mahali na kukuja tena kwa hiyo country, na it can't work like that way. It doesn't work that way. So slowly by slowly, and I said this before Magda came here, I think you are not here. Hata hii account yangu haita atipotea kwa TikTok. No, it will still be here, but when it will be time for me to update and everything, even those companies, they are gonna need time technologically to remove and wipe out their data from their servers and everything from American spaces. That is how it works. So slowly by slowly, we are not going to be able to update. We are not going to be able to gift or get into it or have conversations, because it's breaking slowly by slowly. Na itaisha na iende kabisa. So I'll not be able to even use this account completely. That is how it works.
Can I maybe play this clip for them,
Play the clip for them. There are actually 4 clips there that are very, very vital for anybody who wants to understand the ban in America.
Maybe I can play because she's really clear on what she's saying.
Can Trump save TikTok? The short legal answer is no, but the political answer is maybe. Now, first, as I reported in this video, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled today that the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary-Controlled Applications Act, which requires TikTok to either divest or be banned in the United States on January 19th, is constitutional. ByteDance, which owns TikTok, has already said they are not going to divest or sell their U.S. operations. It's just not feasible. So the only option left is a ban. as I reported in this video, TikTok is absolutely planning to appeal to the United States Supreme Court. And if the justices decide to take this case, technically they could save TikTok by accepting the emergency appeal, putting a temporary hold on the ban, hearing oral arguments, and then issuing a ruling that says the law Congress passed is unconstitutional for multiple different reasons. That would be the cleanest, easiest way to definitively save TikTok with no questions. But if that doesn't happen, can Donald Trump do something once he's sworn in on January 20th? First, this ban is scheduled to take effect one day before Trump is inaugurated. So technically it would already be banned in the United States when he hits the Oval Office. But let's put that fact aside for a second, because there are a few things politically he could do. Maybe. One, he could convince Congress to pass a new law overturning the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. But that bill was overwhelmingly passed by both Democrats and Republicans. Like, it wasn't even close. In the House, the vote was 352 to 65, and in the Senate, it was 79 to 18. So this option is a little far-fetched, but passing a new law overturning the current one would be another clean and definitive way to save TikTok. Another way Trump may be able to save TikTok involves his new attorney general. See, the law that bans TikTok does not say that the U.S. government is going to come knocking on your door and watch you delete the app from your phone. No, that's not what the law says. What it says is once the ban is enacted, no U.S. company will be allowed to host TikTok, meaning you will not be able to see it in an app store. You will not be able to access it through any website, and it will die on its own because updates and algorithm maintenance will not be available. And the law says if any U.S. company continues to host TikTok after the ban is enacted, the fines are so astronomical it would put any company right out of business. But what some legal experts have suggested is Trump, once he's the president, can order his attorney general to just not enforce the law. So the AG could just sort of look the other way and not impose the fines on these U.S. companies hosting TikTok. Now, whether the U.S. companies want to take that risk is a different conversation. And for the Attorney General, it's also a little dicey to ask the Attorney General to knowingly not enforce a law that the courts have so far deemed constitutional. It's sort of really bad form for the top law enforcement official in the United States to not then enforce a law that's constitutional. So that option is a little dicey too. The last option is found directly in the law itself. Remember, the law says that the ban on TikTok will only be enforced if ByteDance, a Chinese-based company, does not divest or sell its U.S. arm of TikTok to another company that is not controlled by a foreign adversary. The law says it's up to the President of the United States to determine whether the divestment is satisfactory. So some legal experts suggest that ByteDance could just do some kind of creative on-paper restructuring, and once he's in office, Trump could be like, yeah, that looks good, but that option's a little iffy too. Now here's the thing, options 2 and 3 would be subject to the whims of Donald Trump on a day-to-day basis. The facts are during his last term, he was absolutely all about banning TikTok. He tried to do it multiple times and failed multiple times. But on the campaign trail this year, he changed his mind and then all of a sudden was all about saving TikTok. My point here is that he has shifted his position on TikTok itself and on banning TikTok. And what if he follows through with options 2 or 3, and then one day he decides he's mad at TikTok for one reason or another, and then decides to change his mind and tells his attorney general, go ahead, you can now enforce the ban and you can now enforce the fines. Or he decides, well, now I don't think the divestiture is satisfactory anymore, so the ban's now in place. Like I said, the cleanest and most legal ways to save TikTok is to have the United States Supreme Court rule that the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act is unconstitutional, or have Congress pass a new law that voids out the other one. Can Trump save TikTok?
Okay, Diana, imeanza kurudia. I think the second, what if, ujue tumebet, what if Trump appeals using akishaingia kwa ofisi, because inakuwa banned on 19th na umesema Trump hata nini. Thank you so much Florence, thank you. 20th inamaanisha hatafanya anything mpaka aingie in power, lakini atumie atoni wake the second option, Diana.
Yeah, inasema atumie
Wacha nikujibu
attorney
kama
general.
inawezekana. Let me tell you, the Attorney General cannot decide to sit back and not enforce the bans. He'll be taken to court like a fool. Atakuwa dragged like an idiot. He cannot, because people will question his credibility. It can't work that way. And also, remember, this is a protection act that is constitutional, embedded in the constitution. It's law in America. It's not just something that people came up with. He can't just wake up and say, oh, I'm not enforcing these things. No, remember, this was legislation passed in Congress. It became law and it was signed. So if the Attorney General decides that, oh, I'm not enforcing bans, that does not mean that enforcing, hefty fines, because the role of the Attorney General is to come up with the amount of money or the amount of fines that he's going to be enforcing on the companies that are going to be hosting the apps for TikTok or the website for TikTok. Okay, that is what he's supposed to do. He's not supposed to be enforcing or making sure that there is a ban. No, the ban will go in effect whether the Attorney General has the whatever levies planned out or not. So what the Attorney General role is to come up with the amount of fine and the money that, the companies that decide to go against the ban will be watakuwa imposed with. Umeelewa? Those are two separate things. Now, looking at this thing constitutionally, first of all, there are two things here mnafaa kuelewa. Trump himself has no power to change what has been passed in Congress and become law. He cannot. And that is why this lady was saying the only way they can change anything is by them coming up with another legislation that is set to amend the Constitution about the Protections Act, which is not possible. And it cannot work. Unaelewa? So even though an Attorney General can never go against a sitting president, it's like a dangling carrot about the hefty fines. You really cannot sit back and say, I'm not imposing fines. Okay, you are not imposing fines, but the app is banned. So what happens? You're going to be dragged in court. What are you doing? What is your interest? And that is something that America cannot afford. And if they choose to go that way, then ByteDance now will even have more power to sue the American government, because initially the purpose for them to ban was because they were claiming so-and-so's data, America's data is being harvested and is being used. So now why are you not doing all those fines that you say that you're doing? Why are you not coming up with a plan to impose these fines? So it will be fishy. And that's why she was saying it's like a catch-22 thing for the government of Trump. By the way, JB, Trump is getting into power saa sita 20th. So he has no business with this ban. He cannot do nothing. It's going to go in.
Play another clip about appealing.
Yes, play it.
Down. Their TikTok is not backing down. They're headed to the United States Supreme Court to try and stop the ban that's scheduled to take effect on January 19th. Moments ago, TikTok issued this statement shading the law that bans the platform, saying the TikTok ban was conceived and pushed through based upon inaccurate, flawed, and hypothetical information, resulting in outright censorship of the American people. TikTok has maintained that not only is this law a violation of the First Amendment rights of the company, but this law is also a major violation of the First Amendment rights of the 170 million American users. TikTok went on to say they plan to take their case directly to the Supreme Court, and based on the court's history, TikTok fully believes that they will prevail. The Supreme Court has an established historical record of protecting Americans' right to free speech, and we expect they will do just that on this important constitutional issue. We're going to come back to that constitutional issue wording in a second. But as I reported earlier today, once they receive this appeal, the Supreme Court has two options. Option one, don't take the case and just let the DC Court of Appeals ruling stand. The justices are not obligated to take this case or any case. In fact, the Supreme Court receives thousands of appeals every single year and only takes about 80 cases per term. So for most cases, getting a Supreme Court hearing is a long shot. Now, if the justices decide not to hear this case, it's over. And option 2 is for the Supreme Court to agree to hear this case on an emergency basis. This is a very possible option. If the court chooses to go this route, they will likely put a temporary pause on the January 19th ban of TikTok. That pause would then remain in effect until the justices make a ruling in this case. In the meantime, they'll schedule oral arguments for some point this term or maybe even next term. So how do the justices decide which cases to take? Well, sometimes they take cases because lower courts have issued conflicting rulings, so the Supreme Court would settle those disputes. That doesn't apply in this case. But they can also choose to take a case because it poses an important constitutional question or questions. And that does apply to this case. And that's likely why TikTok specifically said in their statement that this case deals with important constitutional issues. Now, this is a very high-profile case that involves the First and Fifth Amendments, possibly congressional overreach, and national security concerns. So the next step is for TikTok to actually file its appeal. That appeal will go to Chief Justice John Roberts because he oversees the DC Court of Appeals, which upheld this ban today. Then the justices will meet, as they do periodically, to discuss all the cases in front of them and all the emergency appeals that are pending. And after that discussion, they vote on which cases they are going to hear. It takes 4 of the 9 justices to accept a case. No one ever knows why the justices decide not to hear a case. They never disclose that. So once TikTok files its official appeal, we'll have to see if the justices decide to take the case. TikTok is not backing down.
So what if someone like Elon Musk decides to buy it? Will the Chinese agree to this? Will the Americans be okay with that?
Elon Musk
No, I'm just asking if someone offers.
So, but you know, the thing is also buying a company like some shares from ByteDance. It's not something you wake up to just do. It goes through a lot of verifications, and Congress also has to approve the buyer, my dear. It doesn't work that way, because what America does when people are buying out these companies, especially international corporations, they look at interest. What is the buyer's interest? And also remember, the buying of TikTok by an American company does not just come about buying a company. They also want to buy specific data that was created by that ByteDance, and ByteDance imevao ya kwamba they cannot sell that data. That's the difference. That's why hii kitu ni kizungumkuti, because that is why they chose to choose a route ya court wakitumia First and Fifth Amendment, because they are talking about freedom of speech and the expression of Americans, and then they are basing it on the Constitution, because this case is going forward to the Supreme Court, and the arguments of TikTok are based on the fact that America wants to cajole and curtail the freedom of speech of Americans by banning TikTok, and therefore their ban is unconstitutional, and they're hoping that the Supreme Court can overturn the ban because they think it is taking away the freedom of expression and speech from the First and Fifth Amendments. That is the basis. But now, here is the problem. When they are basically
Maliza. Anyway, basi mute. Anyway, wacha niseme. So, mi kenye nimeangalia JB mi kenye nimeona, acha nikwambie ukweli. The company inasema hivi, people that live in the state kwenye imekuwa banned ni hiyo place peke yake. When you go to a different location, if you download, uende tuseme kama utatumia device ya US, cause nikikuwa na device ya US na niko na kama Verizon network ya Verizon, I support hiyo kitu hata kwa App Store cause ni US. Nikienda Kenya nichukue simu ya Oppo, sawa? Nimeenda Kenya ninunue simu ya Oppo, ni download TikTok, neza nika login na account yangu, unless hiyo nini account iko globally banned. If it's globally banned, you can't log in. Na if you log in na device ya US ukitumia VPN, unaweza ukastakiwa because una violate ban yenye imebaniwa kwenyu. But ukienda udownload, TikTok will allow you to log into your account. Unasikia? Bora uja login ukiwa US na nini na app na device ya US yenye imeban. No, I just nime research. I've checked my shit out. Nimeangalia. uta login na unaweza just the US peke yake.
Nani atanipea box moja naomba? Box moja nipandishe mtu wa US pia.
I can drop. Let me drop.
No, we ni wa US.
Unaona Diana, hata mwezi mkakuwa na a valid argument. Sasa jua tukubaliani ana catch.
Nimetaka tu Diana, hey Arwa, how are you? Nimetaka Diana akae juu nani Windrose pia ni wa US tusikie.
No, hi everybody. Hi JB. Thank you for bringing me up.
Hey.
Ngoja nitakuja ngoja tu kuna siku nimekupangia ngoja tu before wafunge TikTok, but Magda is saying the right thing. Wacha niwaambie, hata mtu ukigoogle saizi, when US TikTok closes, are you able to access TikTok anywhere else? What Magda is saying is true. They only banned TikTok. They did not ban the specific people. We can still access TikTok through other VPNs. We can still go to other countries or other states that have not, this thing is a kwanini. So we will still be able to access TikTok. Kama kuna mtu tu anafikiria they can live without TikTok, they will access TikTok. Hata ukiwa US, hata ukiwa wapi. But in the real sense, I don't see TikTok being banned. Like mtu kama Trump anaingia saizi kwa power, he knows that, you know, this social media has been the one fighting for him, doing this, doing that. So tuachane na hizo story ya kushtuana au sijui kama watu wanataka kufanya farewell, hiyo ni mboka. Acha watu wafanye farewell, ni mboka. But TikTok will still be here and we will still be able to access TikTok, and your account is your account. You will still be able to access it, only not in the countries that the VPN doesn't work when they ban it. So tutaweza ku access. So Magda has been right. Nimekuwa nikitry kusema, but I only came up to say that Magda is right. But mtu unataka kutupa, like, even if we watch so many news, we watch what, it's not gonna help anything. TikTok will still be here, and if we want to access it, I only have to change my VPN, iende South Africa, iende wapi, and I'll still be here on TikTok, and I won't be violating any kind of rules or anything because I'll be using the VPN. So because even if I get gifts, watu fanya nini, mtu kama mimi, I'm not really interested with gifts and all the stuff, so I don't really worry about filing taxes. But other people, they know how to navigate through to make sure that it goes to the right place. So Magda, you know, I kudos to you for standing your ground and actually saying the truth, because even if you Google, obviously
200 million users, almost 100 million users, users, TikTok users. You cannot put that app out like that, just like that, overnight.
No, we'll still be able to operate on TikTok, but only for the people that really want to be on TikTok. They have to maneuver, like uweke VPN, uweke nini. Si kama vile tunaingia tu saizi fwa.
Nikwambie VPN will not work. Na after a certain time, like JB, hatutaweza ku-update TikTok, so ita lag. But ukitoka nje ya Kenya, kama sasa niko na hii iPhone yangu na siwezi download TikTok kwa hii app, nikienda ninunue simu ingine Kenya niweze kudownload TikTok, naweza nikaingia kwa my account ni login from Kenya.
Hiyo inawezekana.
Siwezi leta simu huku US ifanye kazi, but naweza enda country nyingine na ni login, because TikTokers wengi hata saa hii wanapanga kuhama US. Kama wewe ni gamer, unaweza hama US na uende country nyingine na uendelee
ku millions.
Because wanna make millions, lazima
but let me ask you, nini Magda?
You can go somewhere else that supports it. It's your right kufanya Kenya unataka. Wacha nikuulize, ngoja kidogo niseme. Kuko na hii app inaitwa APK. APK huwezi get kwa iPhone, but unaweza get APK kutoka kwa Android. US hai support APK, but people still use APK. Unaelewa? US ile yani haiwezi control.
Shida ni hivi, nyinyi mnakuwa paid na USA government. Now that imesema hakuna TikTok. Who will be paying you guys?
Who pays nini? Who pays them? See,
Now the government
by TikTok.
Yeah, they are paying by TikTok, by the government there. And now when it is banned, who is going to pay them? Because you are still a gamer, you are gaming, who is going to pay you?
No, maybe they will move to other countries to wafungue wanza.
Kuna watu wako na watu hata Europe. Kuna watu wako na support.
Unajua Belgium, unajua JB walibani uwezi nini tumia kwa nini? Kwa ene catchket ya nini ya government uwezi iweka TikTok is banned.
I think when they move to other countries, they start from zero, opening a new account.
But that country, they don't pay. There are only few countries that pay. USA, Germany, Spain, there are very few.
No, we are not talking about creation payment, ile ya creator whatever fund. We are not talking about that. We are talking about gifts. We are not talking about that. Country tano tu ndio zinakuwa na ile nini ya creator nini.
How can you open? Let me ask you. How can you open a bank account in a country that is not yours if you are not a resident?
Mbona mimi sija kuelewa Kenya venye
before upate hii pesa inatakana ukuwe na bank account. Alafu hiyo bank account yako iko linked na nini? Na TikTok. So kama mimi ndaenda kuchukulia South Africa niseme wanalipa South Africa, sina residency ya huko, nitapataje pesa huko South Africa? Haiwezekani.
Kuna mwenye ameniuliza a very good question. Ameniuliza nani atanigift kwa country nyingine. I will start over again afresh. Hiyo inamaanisha hiyo ni kama ban iko. Yani unajua if you have to move and start afresh, inamaanisha hiyo ban imego through.
Mwenye anasema PayPal, it is connected to your email address. Your email address is official email address is connected to the government.
You don't need a bank account. I need a PayPal account peke yake.
Lakini hiyo PayPal account iko na email address. Baadaye wakitaka kupata hizo vitu zote utapatikana tu.
Sasa hiyo.
It is very tricky. Unajua country kama Kenya hawalipi. So it is going to be a little bit tricky.
Mama Kuku, can I dive in kujibu hiyo swali kidogo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Box kidogo.
So unasema so hata tuki try ku maneuver accounts and we give JB, she still has to Jenny spell it out like some stuff. Ama naelewa aje?
Mimi nilikuwa nasema watu wenye wanadepend on TikTok wenye wanakaa USA wanalipwa. That's what I meant. No, I'm just asking for those few who are being paid.
Mama Kuku, let me pole sana JB. Nani Magda, I hope you are here. Magda, I dropped because there was something I needed to do, not because I was running from an argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so and that's why I'm back. Now let me answer Mama Kuku, and that's the issue here. Unajua, the issue why this ban is in effect is was passed through legislation na ikapitia Congress is because they were talking about protection of America's data. It was about protections of the Americans and their data. Nasikia, yeah, so your data ina include majina na kila kitu, what emails, whatever, kila kitu. So TikTok iko connected to PayPal, iko connected to credit cards na mabank accounts na kila kitu. So nimesikia hapa ati arguments I've seen in the comment section about VPN. Let me say something about that. You may be able to use VPN here in America, but it will not be for a long time, my friend, because TikTok itself iko na laws against using VPN we mwenye. If Americans decide eti imekuwa banned na wanaingilia VPN, they have the right to actually ban permanently those accounts. Iko kwa community standards zao, ende mkasome ziko huko. Now, the ban on TikTok can only not take effect if the Supreme Court agrees to take up this case. Na kumbuka JB, Supreme Court inaweza amua haichukui hii kesi. And they might not even give you a reason why they don't want to take it. And there is nothing we can do about it.
But kuna mali nimesoma like they have a record of protecting their whatever.
But protecting what? Protecting America's rights.
Yes.
Yes, but now remember, those rights also include the reason why that decision was upheld in the courts in DC, because the arguments ya TikTok walikuwa na claim ya kwamba ati TikTok inakuwa banned na hawakubaliani nao kwa sababu it's gonna take away the freedom of speech for Americans, which is constitutional. But that was disputed in the appeals court. If you read that appeal, it was very clear. They said that those reasons they brought were not valid enough because the whole reason why TikTok inakuwa banned is for data protection, not to curtail and cajole the freedom of speech. And ukiangalia TikTok ukweli, unapatiana jina yako, unapatiana email, unapatiana mpaka address. Sa ile $600 form inakuja ya taxes. You give out your information as an American resident. That is when you can even be able to recharge, and that's when you're even able to pay taxes. So all the reasons that were based on that document, if you read it, you can see that it has nothing to do with freedom of speech. It has everything to do with data. And that is why I'm telling you 100% I believe that yes, of course, there are people who will try to do underdog things, kujaribu kuingililia whatever, TikTok using other means. We are not saying that's not possible, but the truth is there are going to be hefty fines, and that is why the Attorney General has been tasked with the duty of coming up with the fines yenye watapatiana any company yenye itajaribu kutumia TikTok after the ban has been put in effect. It's just as simple as that.
Mama Kuku, I would like to revisit and answer your question, JB and the other guest, if that's okay with you. Mama Kuku, I would like to revisit and answer that question because I don't think to me answer your question yako yenye ulikuwa umetuliza. If you can just briefly ask again before nisiende kitapatapa. Magda, otherwise if Mama Kuku doesn't have a question to ask, then we'll go ahead with Magda. Like you guys, I am not getting any information from, like, I'm misleading people. Seriously. JB, Google saizi.
Wacha niseme kitu moja. Okay, let me say something basi. Nani,
if you have another phone, just Google and say, yeah, okay, Magda.
No, I was saying, like, the thing says that banning access to one application does not create safety or security for America's data from China or any other source. Unaona? So even if like the ban inapply on the 19th, haimaanishi data yetu yenye already TikTok iko nayo itafanyiwa kitu. They still have it. The reason why iko protected ni because TikTok wamekataa kuuza kwa US to protect. They still have our data. Unaelewa? So they are not going to restrict you from TikTok. Ni the US that is restricting you. So TikTok still wants you to be able to access your account. Ni ile uwezi tu access from this side. Unaelewa? TikTok is not in cahoots with the US government. So TikTok itafanya anything possible to keep you as a customer. Unaelewa?
Exactly, because who benefits all the time when we gift each other is TikTok. They take the 30%. Hakuna mahali watataka kusema like millions and millions of their customers are
50. You don't know.
Huh?
They take 50.
I thought it was 30.
Na ndio nakwambia TikTok, the reason why wamekataa kuuza kwa US ni because they still want to maintain all the rights. So TikTok inataka wewe uweze ku-access account yako. So hawajakubali ukue globally banned. You're only banned in the US. Na the only way kitu ita-apply is if you're globally banned. As long as you're not globally banned, you can still log into your account. You just don't have the application on the current phone you have in America because it is only banned in the US.
Yeah, like seriously, I can go to Italy right now and travel for a week
on Google.
And still be able to access
Google site. Naweza enda sai nini Italy, ninunue simu ingine na ni download TikTok na ni login kwa account yangu na hakuna kenye itafanyika.
But in short,
because data ni yangu. Unless mimi staki US, kama mimi ndo staki TikTok ikuwe na data yangu, but mimi nimekubali TikTok iniruhusu, so TikTok itaniruhusu pia mimi niingie kwa account. US haiwezi ni stop from giving anybody my personal
But
data.
Magda, let me tell you, watakulimit juu bank account yako haitakuwa connected kwa hiyo TikTok. Panga za America sitaona your PayPal.
Unaweza connect hata bank account yako, itafanya ni bank yako.
Haitafanya juu.
Bank yako itafanya, it's your bank account.
Yeah, lakini unajua banks mpaka zinaambianga government what is happening on your account.
Lakini sasa imeban TikTok
kama nyinyi
kwa
America
US
ikoje
account yako.
Wacha nikwambie juu kama sisi huku tuko na nini na one common number. Hiyo common number iko na all your information, iko na all your details, iko na your bank account, what you are doing, all the transaction, all your medical history. Ukiweka tu hiyo number inaleta all information about you. Na hiyo
it does, Mama Kuku, you are very right. The US banks share information with the government, and they do so. They are allowed to. So his story thinking at maybe you can go somewhere and you use your account now you are safe. No, they will find out, and that is why they can actually ban you. You can do whatever you want to do. You can try to use other means to log into TikTok. You can go to another country and try VPN, but as long as you're going to be using details in
another country, and they will let you do it because you're not breaking the rules.
Akisi wacha nimalize uoye kama inawezekana. You're breaking the rules, obviously. If you're going to be going into another country and you're using your same details as an American, and America is talking about Data Protection Act, and you're an American using your same name and everything, you are going against the rules and the basis of this data protection thing of TikTok if it goes into effect. And that is why they are very clear about users and the hefty fines. If anybody decides to go against it and they use other ways to log into TikTok and put American data at risk, you'll be held responsible for it.
Wanaweza kutipot
deportation siongelele, lakini I'm just saying that it's about data protection.
Unakumbuka huyo kijana mwenye alikuwa Mwamerika mwenye alitoroka akasema sijui army inafanya aje? Anybody mwenye hapo
hata kwanza wacha
alikuwa amefanya espionage. Wacha nikwambie, as long as you're not in the United soil, kama hauko United States, uende you country ingine, I can use my bank account because my bank account can trace my location. Nikienda Kenya muambia bank yangu I'm going to Kenya, as long as I'm not in the United States soil. I am not breaking the law.
That is different.
No,
when you go to Kenya, you can use your bank account because you are not doing anything wrong.
I let you talk, Diana. Let me talk. So if you go to Kenya right now, buy an Oppo phone.
Magda, I second you on that. So once you're done,
if I go to Kenya right now, buy an Oppo phone. Kenya lets me have Play Store yenye iko na TikTok. Download TikTok, right? I can log back on to my Magda Harris account, log in. Bank yangu niwaambie I'm in Kenya. I can top up to my account because I'm not on Kenyan soil and they can see it right there in a peana address. I'm not breaking any laws because I'm not in United States soil. TikTok is only banned in America.
Okay, Magda, why is TikTok being banned in America?
Data protection, yes.
So does your data change when you go to Kenya?
Even though your data doesn't change.
Does your data change when you go to Kenya? Do you stop being an American citizen because you've gone to Kenya?
But the app is not controlled by Skiza.
No, I'm just asking. Do you stop being an American?
I don't stop being an American, but they don't have control over the TikTok that is in Africa. It's only the TikTok ilikuwa banned in here in the States. It doesn't apply in other countries. It only applies in the country where it was banned.
But Magda, I think when you are in Kenya, you need to use Kenyan's information in. Juu kiti yenye iko let me ask you.
US has no right over your data. Only in America inaweza control. When you're outside the country, I can use my card to put it in whatever. Nikikuja Kenya ita restrict isifanye kazi.
Iko hivi kitu yenye mimi nina insist ni hii ya pesa. Sasa wewe ukienda alafu mtu akuwekea pesa kwa account. Huko America hawafuati pesa vile zimeingia kwa account.
Fuatilia TikTok depression, they do follow. It doesn't matter. The thing is, where did you earn this money and based on what and who are you? Are you Diana Ross in America, or are you Diana Ross who lives in Kenya, who is a Kenyan? That's the thing. This whole thing is based on data protection. So when there is a data breach, it doesn't matter where it happens. If you choose to use and log into the account yenye ilikuwa ya US, then it's a problem. But if you want to go and download a different account in Kenya, you can do it.
And then you can use bank accounts from Kenya.
Yes,
also.
you can download an app in Kenya, a new app. You can use whatever you want in Kenya. But this whole thing is about data protection. You don't stop being an American just because you've left America. No. You still are going to use the same names.
Na bank account ya
No.
Kenya. You can even use so you can just go to Kenya, niende tu nifungue account ingine na niweke kadi ya Kenya.
Of course, that's what we're trying to tell you. See, ndio tunakwambia it's possible. You can use a bank account in Kenya, you can use a different name in Kenya and log on to a nini in Kenya.
My problem is about
No. You don't have to log into a different account.
With my TikTok account from America.
Magda, nobody has to log into a different account. I'm telling you guys, I've tried this before, then you can still do it. It's not illegal to use a VPN that is legal in this country. So you just have to figure out which VPN is legal. When I first got into this country, na sikuwa na Wi-Fi, sikuwa na chochote, I would still be logging in with VPNs. New York, whatever, wherever. Like I've been seeing this person. I'm not attacking anybody in the real sense.
Can
we just have an argument without looking at a person? Can we have an argument peacefully as we were?
I'm talking about what Magda
is saying. We are talking about an argument. Can we have this is a serious conversation. Stop personalizing.
Because you did not know what I was coming to do.
Stop personalizing. Nilikuona umekuja hapo ukaanza kuongea vitu sijui boka nini. Focus on the discussion, please. Focus on the discussion. Can you for once focus on the discussion? Takataka. You can't focus on a discussion. You always have to personalize an issue. We are talking about a serious issue here. Umebeba mdomo sayote unaleta ujinga. We are talking about an issue about data protection. Wewe unakuja hapa kuleta upumbavu. Talk about facts and put them here straight. Why do you have to personalize issues?
Diana, I hear in America before you become
kitu tu rahisi tunafaa kuongelelea pole tumalize tunaanza kupersonalize.
Windrose.
Seriously?
Windrose, there's a clip I played here where they were saying that the companies zenye watakuwa na support history ya TikTok zikishikwa watapewa heavy penalty. So my question is, I feel like it's okay nani Windrose, you have your own issues, nyinyi watu wazima, so able to focus bila kunini
hapa akileta mimi nitamdrop period. Me I'm not going to be allowing that. Kama nataka kuongea aongee about the issues that are here.
Don't you think
instead of derailing an argument?
Windrose, are you there?
Naweza uliza kitu.
Nimuulize swali kwanza. Are you there, Windrose?
Ako
dark, so sijui kama what's happening. Aya, ni kama ako ghost. Nilikuwa nauliza, don't you think TikTok is banned in US. Do you think it will be legal for VPN to allow US citizens to still log into whatever? Because I feel like hizo heavy penalties itakuwa issued kwa kama VPN hivyo. Wale wenye wata enable citizens bado watumie TikTok. Ama
mimi nilikuwa nataka ajasikia nataka kusema
nini, ebu drop Windrose alafu up me ako ghost. Mimi namuona Juno wanda sisikia akiongea. Let me disconnect you alafu nikupange.
Iko hivi JB, mtu akiwa US citizen kuna kitu yenye huwa wanaapa. Alafu kitu yenye wanaapa one of it ni protect the country and the information and the data. Na saizi kumekuja na law wamesema this thing is putting our data into
ngoja kidogo, ngoja hiyo jibu yangu nataka ijibiwe kwanza alafu ukuje na story nyingine. You the US citizen are taking the risk by using a VPN. I feel like I understood like it's VPN ndio itakuwa held accountable, watapewa mahevi whatever, ama ni individual nani watapewa?
No, so that's what I wanted to explain. But the thing is, nobody should make this all TikTok thing personal. Like, oh, umezunguka kila platform.
Focus on the discussion,
but anyway,
please.
I'm gonna
Answer the
leave that
question.
alone.
Can you focus on the discussion, guy? What's wrong with this woman?
Niliingia hapa
Nini mbaya na huyu mwanamke? Yani she cannot talk about what you've asked her.
Let her talk.
Yana give her time.
Seriously.
Watu wasikue na emotions.
Guy,
nikifungua mdomo yangu unaanza kunimute, unaanza kunidrop.
nitakumute ukileta ujinga hapa. Talk about what JB amekuambia. Why do you have to talk about it being personal? Uongee vitu tunaongea hapa. You are derailing a good conversation.
Like seriously, I can't even talk.
You are derailing a good conversation. Focus on the issues.
I came back for that good
Focus on the issues.
Ulikuwa unajaribu kumwambia Magda.
Focus on the issues. I was speaking to Magda. We were having a conversation here. Did you see?
Magda alijaribu kueleza vizuri.
Please. Oh yeah, a conversation, guys. Let us not divert it to being personal.
Gosh,
so that we are able to have a healthy conversation.
We are all learning. We are all learning from each other. Yeah, Windrose.
Can you speak? Please, Nini, mic iko kwa Windrose. Wacha ongee imtoke. Lakini a focus kwa nini kwa topic. Yeah. Aya, Windrose, mic iko kwako. Please don't refer to anyone hapa. Aya. Windrose, unmute, maybe anaongea na ajui. Hebu unmute.
How do you guys think that, you know, like hakuna mtu anaweza ongea kwa hizi platform zenu? Sasa si mubaki na platform zenu basi. Because I mean, JB, you say here is a free and fair thing that we can talk. I came here, I started a conversation na nimeingia na conversation na tukaendelea na conversation. I'm dealing with facts. I'm dealing with facts. Like I can screenshot it, I can show it, I can screenshot it, I can show it. Right. Nobody likes to when somebody wants to just be standing out, be the one telling people.
Okay.
Sivyo ndio watu wanasema siku hizi.
Kama hutaki kuongea kwa discussion, focus.
We are still in the discussion.
Yeah, but don't make it about, don't personalize it. Kama hutaki kuongea kwa topic ya discussion, shuka.
Wacha niulize swali basi wewe.
Hawezi kunitisha chochote.
Nani mimi nikutishe kwa nini? Like you've not reached that level. You can't. Hujafika hiyo level, I'm sorry.
I'm not listening to you.
Hujafika hiyo level yenye unitishe wewe.
Sitaki kuongea vibaya.
Hujaongea. Ni nini unaweza sema inaweza kuniaffect wewe?
That's why niliingia saa zile ukatoka mbio. Enda.
Nitoke mbio wapi? Wewe ndio utatoka hii platform, wewe ndio utatoka. Taka hii platform wewe ndio utatoka, nimekuambia. Hala, mimi usiniletee ufietu wako my friend. Tunaongea kitu important hapa, unakuja hapa ati unasema eti unaogopa. Unaogopa na kuogopea nini wewe? Uko na nini?
Wacha Windrose, wacha nikuongeleshe kabla upande. Just focus on me asking you a question na unijibu. Sawa? Hivyo tu. Usimuaddress Diana, najua you don't get along.
Some drop. Period.
Okay, JB, just ask me the question. I'll keep quiet.
Umeniambia it's possible to access TikTok ukitumia VPN.
Yes.
Na mimi nakuuliza, kuna clip tulisikiza hapa kabla ukam, yeye inaongelelea penalty, heavy penalties.
Yes.
Zenye company yoyote yenye itenable American residents ama citizens, American watumie TikTok watapewa penalties.
Okay.
Na mtu akasema Patufa akasema mwenye atapewa ni individual. Tuseme wewe unatumia hiyo through VPN. So it means mimi nashangaa TikTok iko ban, lakini VPN can enable Americans kutumia TikTok. How possible is that?
Okay, this is the thing, and this is just is public information. It is very public information. So US ikishasema you can access TikTok hapa na hapa na hapa. Yes, then if you access it through a VPN, it's not illegal. Because ni kama vile Magda was saying it, that's the reason why nilijoin hii discussion in the first place. Because kila mtu alikuwa anajaribu kupuuza kenye Magda alikuwa anasema, but Magda was right.
Okay, hapo wacha niseme
kitu, but not the accounts and not the person. Unaona?
No, let me correct you hapo with Rose.
Nikikuja Kenya saizi, I can still open my account. Niende South Africa, I can still open my account. Niende Germany, I can still open my account. So if I use the VPN,
you won't open the account without changing the region, ama?
No, wacha nikwambie penye na disagree na Windrose. Windrose, wacha nikwambie, if the account is banned, if you use it with VPN, you're breaking the law. Unaelewa?
No, if only you open your account in the US. But if you do not open your account in the US, you can access it in any other country.
But wacha nikwambie, it's not going to be accessible kwa App Store on the device that you have from the country that you're from.
I mean, Magda, I am working with a source that I just wacha nichukue screenshots and I'm coming back and show you.
No, it's okay.
Siko nakuja hapa kuongea vitu ya ujinga. I'm coming here talking
with things that I already
about
the same thing, but we have to be clear. We're having a debate. Unaelewa tusikosane. Ukiwa na hii simu yako ya America na TikTok imebaniwa America, hata ukienda Kenya huwezi tumia hii simu ya Kenya kudownload TikTok because network yako na hiyo App Store na hiyo device yenye uko nayo haisupport hiyo kitu. But ukikuwa na device ingine, uende Kenya, ununue simu ingine ama ukuwe na simu different ya hiyo country, unaweza download TikTok na udownload account yako. You don't even have to use VPN. Unaelewa? You can still use that. Na ukiwa na hiyo account unaweza pia tumia VPN but uko in another country, not the phone, the device that unatumia America. It's breaking the law.
And who will face the consequences? Magda, an individual.
No, wacha nikwambie Tati, uwezi change location kwa App Store because App Store ya huku US haitaweza kukuwa na hiyo application kwa hiyo nini App Store because imebaniwa in the US. So ukikuja kwa huku hivi US uende kwa App Store hautapata ati TikTok kwa App Store. So ukikuwa na device ya US uwezi ukadownload TikTok after imebaniwa huku US. So hata ukiwa nayo kwa simu yako hutaweza kuupdate, but unaweza itumia mpaka ile siku simu yako itakataa.
No, but you can change your location. You can change your location. Every time you move you can change your location. Because hata kama nilikuwa Kenya alafu bank yangu ikaniambia why are we seeing transactions from a different country? You can always change location in anything.
If you leave US right now na account yako uende country ingine uchange location. Na ukichange location maybe something will happen, but as long as ni device yako ya US it's not going to happen. Ni kama watu wenye wako Montana. Ukiwa Montana ukienda
Magda, that one you are wrong. I have done it practically.
Nakwambia ukweli.
No, seriously Magda. Acha nikwambie saizi but in the real sense I'm telling you guys historia
but guys nawaambia mnasema you can change na
TikTok haitafungwa. It will still be an ongoing drag back and forth. We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
when you move you can, but in the States uwezi ukachange. Unaweza change. Na understand Kenya unasema basi nikichukua device yangu niende nayo Kenya naweza change location ya App Store ndio iweze kuniruhusu nichukue TikTok. Probably it's a chance. Hiyo nayo I will give it like it's a maybe, inawezekana. But ukiwa US haita work.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Kwani swali nauliza JB,
kujanga kufungua mdomo hapa. Kwani mnafikirianga na leo kuanzia asubuhi mpaka jioni, asubuhi mpaka jioni?
Swali unauliza ya companies wenye watapata ma fines. Unajua nini? The companies ni wenye wana run hizo ma whatevers. Unaona? like VPN itself ni the host companies, unaelewa. Alafu another thing, history ya VPN pia iko very tricky. Ukisoma vizuri what TikTok inasema juu ya VPN, it's not like it's banning you. You're not banned from using VPN, but VPN unaweza tumia location na choose location unatumia, so content yako itakuwa inakuwa exposed to the location na VPN yenye umetumia. Say for example, ni choose Brazil as my VPN. My content and the people I'm gonna be accessing watakuwa ni watu wa Brazil. Unaona? So the fact that people can use VPN doesn't necessarily mean that it is okay and you'll get away with it. Yes, you can use it, but TikTok itself does not support. And once they trace na wata realize watu wana download wanatumia VPN, watafanya nini? Wata ban completely these accounts. All that information iko kwa
VPN. US is the government ya US ina charge.
So if you look at what they say in their community standards and everything in regards to VPN na kila kitu, kumbuka there is that story ya India, guys. When there was an issue with India and banning of TikTok. Indians walienda wote waka download, millions of them downloaded VPN. But then at some point they realized they were no longer able to access TikTok because it was banned. TikTok realized there were so many users using the same VPN from that same place, and they banned because of the IP addresses.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to say something about the VPN. So unless you are doing something illegal, then you are not allowed to use a VPN. But if you are not doing anything illegal, you're getting on social media platforms, you're doing whatever, it is not illegal to use a VPN unless they have spelled it out that do not use the VPN. So once, if they are to ban TikTok, now ban TikTok saizi, now waseme, okay, do not access TikTok, none whatsoever. Then utasema hata even with the VPNs, with all that stuff, we haven't got there yet. Once they do that, then that way, that means
the app banned in a specific in US, then VPN allowing people to use TikTok will be illegal.
Of course, it's illegal.
So yeah, because it's just a general, it's just a general thing that VPN will always be available for the people. Just don't go.
Big screen. I would have shown it to you. I have Googled it and I've seen it.
Okay, read for us.
You can try to use VPN, but VPN itakuletea problem. If you use VPN and they discover that you're using VPN, you can be permanently banned. If TikTok realizes that you're using the VPN, they will permanently ban your account. Hiyo nayo iko kwa Google it and you will see. So kama TikTok is banned in the USA and upatikane unatumia VPN in the USA to access TikTok, your account will be permanently banned. Hiyo iko kwa Google it, you'll see.
Okay.
Nimegoogle iko. So huwezi sema VPN is not gonna work in the US because US inajua, like for real, US nayo VPN hiyo nakwambia ukweli, it's not gonna work. Hapa hivi Kenya, argument yangu na Diana ilikuwa about our main accounts. Kama hii account yangu Magda Harris, if imebaniwa US itavanish kabisa, I'll have to open up another account. That was the argument, and the argument mimi nilikuwa na make ni TikTok can let me access this account as long as sifanyi illegally. I can go in another country and log into my Magda Harris account. Unaelewa? That was the argument. But siwezi nika access account yangu US. Unaona? That's the only thing I can't. That was the whole argument.
In short unasema VPN ni kama kuuza cocaine.
Imefika ikakuwa ni kama
ukipatikana na VPN ni kama kuuza cocaine.
Si kama semi necessarily utapigwa fine, unaweza pigwa fine, inaweza kuwa like sijui charges ni nini, but it's against the law.
They just ban you as an individual. They can't come for you, they'll ban you, so you won't be able to access. But kama kuna companies zimekupatia hiyo access, hizo companies ndio zitapatiwa hefty fines, unaelewa? Ndio maana hata huyu mama alikuwa na explain ya kwamba sometimes the fines could be so big that the company might not even survive.
Hawataki kutake hiyo risk.
Umeelewa? So na hakuna company ita risk, that's why wameiweka like an open book, unajua, so to do or to be or not to be, like I mean you don't know, so which company is willing to risk? because it's something that AG anaweza amka Monday aseme okay we are placing hefty fines, alafu utajipata when ni one of the companies when you allow watu wakafanya nini waka access TikTok. Nobody wants to take that risk. Yep. So you'd rather be safe because this is legislation that was passed in Congress and signed into law. So you'd rather be safe as a company and not pay a hefty millions of dollars fine. Unaona? And that's the protection, because hakuna vile serikali itaanza kufuatia na individuals. No, they go for the big fish. They don't go for small people. Unaona? Kama we ndio umetumia hiyo VPN mwenye ameihost ndiye atatafutwa. That's all. And that's how it's this whole issue, the whole argument was all about data. And the thing why tulikuwa tuna differ na Magda or we had a different or disagreement is because I was talking about data. As Diana Ross, nikiwa America, as an American resident, my data is supposed to be protected by the American government. So if I go to Kenya, I do not change to be somebody else. I'm still that same Diana Ross. So if my account in America was banned with the TikTok ban, if I choose to put in that account active in Kenya, I will be still putting my data at risk. And that's what I'm trying to say. Because you don't cease to being an American. Your data does not stop being your data as an American because you've gone to Kenya. You still put yourself at risk even when you leave American whatever soil. And I believe that your account, kama imekuwa banned hapa US or TikTok has been banned here US, you cannot access it when you leave the US to go to Kenya. You can obviously download a new account in Kenya. And
that's where we and you disagree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where me and Diana disagree, and I feel like kama umebaniwa in Kenya, wewe umebaniwa tu na TikTok in Kenya, the only way you can lose your account na TikTok is if you try to access your account illegally. If you access your account legally, TikTok will still let you get on TikTok. You can go somewhere else and access the same account from another location legally. So your account is not going to disappear. That's where me and Diana disagree. And US can try to protect your data, but you can give your data to whoever you want, and it's your personal choice. You can do whatever you want with your data. Nezenda Kenya na nifanye kenye nataka na data yangu. I can give my social security and like the government can only do so much to protect me and my data. If I choose to go there and access it outside there, it is out of their jurisdiction.
Outside Kenya, you're not protected.
Of course, you can do whatever you want to do with your data, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what you're doing is right.
So thank you so much for watching the video to the end. Remember to like, share, comment, and if you have not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and put on the notification bell so that you know every time I post a new video. So guys, thank you. I'm gonna see you on my next video. Bye.